Now let's bring in CBS News Executive Director of the White House in politics, Finn Gomez. Finn, thank you so much for your time today. The president is expected to receive his intelligence briefing today before leaving to Bedminster. Now this is after Caroline Levitt told reporters that he will make a decision in 2 weeks on whether to get involved in the Middle East. So do we know what the president is considering in all of this?
Yeah, I mean, he's basically giving diplomacy some time. He's giving diplomacy a chance here, according to the White House, to resolve this escalating conflict between Israel and Iran over the Iranians' nuclear capabilities. As you mentioned, Levitt said during the White House briefing yesterday that the president has made it clear that he wants to pursue diplomacy. She said, "But believe me," this is a quote, "the president is unafraid to use strength if necessary." And as you mentioned, giving that 2-week window for diplomacy to work. Also, Levitt, in exchange with CBS's Weijia Jiang, said Iran has all the components it needs to achieve a nuclear weapon, and once the Iranian supreme leader gives the go-ahead, quote, would take, as you mentioned, just a couple weeks to complete its production. There's been some questions about that, but in the meantime, the president is set to receive intelligence briefings today in the Situation Room and throughout the weekend. I would note also the president's former senior advisor, Steve Bannon, who has been ardently against the U.S. joining the Israeli strikes first Iran, had lunch with the president yesterday at the White House. We confirmed, while we don't know the specifics of the meeting, Bannon told a group of reporters, including me, just the day before, that he thought that the Israeli government was rushing the U.S. into this situation, and that the U.S. should take a slowed down approach to process this and further assess the situation.
Okay, and I want to ask you about this because Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with the UK foreign minister at the White House, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, he was there as well. What came of this, and will this conversation influence the meetings today in Geneva?
Well, the White House certainly hopes that it does. I mean, yes, yesterday, Secretary Rubio and Special Envoy Witkoff met with the British Foreign Minister, David Lammy. According to a State Department spokesperson, they discussed the conflict between Israel and Iran and, quote, agreed that Iran can never develop or acquire a nuclear weapon. The British Foreign Minister is expected to convey the message to the Iranians today in Geneva that the existing U.S. diplomatic offer remains on the table. The meeting in Geneva is taking place with ministers from Britain, France, and Germany. As Liz said, they're known as the E3, and also it will include the European Union's foreign policy chief and of course, the Iranian foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi. The Europeans are also speaking to them about the French proposal offered by French President Macron that also offers to resolve this situation.
And the president, we know, is also set to travel to The Hague on Monday. What exactly are we watching for on that trip?
Yeah, this NATO summit comes up annually, Mogu, but initially Ukraine and Russia was going to be at the top of the agenda. That's still an important and key issue, of course, but Iran is bound to come up in discussions, in particular given the involvement of our European allies. Of course, again, this E3 and EU meeting today in Geneva, but we know that they will also focus on other issues like increasing defense spending amongst these NATO countries. As you know, the goal among the big push from the White House, from President Trump, was to increase these NATO countries to hit that 5% of their GDP for defense spending into NATO. But we do know also that the schedule was truncated to appease President Trump's schedule. So it's supposed to be a smaller window of time that he is there. But of course, Iran is expected to be a top issue next week in The Hague.
Okay, we'll continue to watch how all of this develops. Finn Gomez, thank you so much for your reporting.